Welcome everyone, good evening. Welcome to SOAS. Well, yeah, whoa! Exactly. My name is Casper Melville. I'm a senior lecturer in the School of Arts. I teach creative industries, popular music type things. You're very welcome to SOAS. Some of you are SOAS students, some of you aren't. Some of you may not have been here before, so thank you for coming. It's great to see you. This event, in a way, is a bit sort of impromptu. I was organising a festival in October, and I actually invited Elijah to be part of that festival, but he told me he was going to be on tour and not available. So I left it at that, and then it turns out his plans changed a little bit, and he's like, I want to do an end of term thing, so this is what we're doing, an end of term, end of year sort of thing. Let me just tell you a little bit about why I know Elijah. A few years ago, I was trying to remember, and I asked him, was it him reaching out to me or me reaching out to him? He was sure it was me, because he said, I don't ask for anything. So I must have asked, and I probably did. I became aware of this person who had things to say about the music business. I run a music business class, so I wanted to bring someone in who had some experience of working in the industry. And Elijah came into my class a couple of years ago and did a brilliant talk, was incredibly relaxed and incredibly intelligent and had so many interesting things to say. So then we went and did it again the following year, and then, I don't know, that just seemed to snowball into something. So now Elijah is got the status and sort of, he's almost like a one-man university who's set himself up on using Instagram, using all of the socials, mentoring, explaining, demystifying, really providing such an amazing sort of insight, an honest insight into the black music industry, the pop music industry, how to manage your own business, how to sort of run your affairs, what really matters when it comes to being creative and getting that creativity out in the world. So I'm so thrilled and delighted that he can join me. As part of this process, I nominated him to be something called a community fellow at SOAS, which really means that you're someone that we want to bring a little bit closer in. You get one of these cards, you get access to the library, and you get potentially access to a lecture theatre like this. I think I'm right in saying that Elijah is the only person who's got a SOAS card, like a staff card like this, with the words DJ on it. And when I mentioned that to him, he said, I won't be the last. So let's hope that's true. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome DJ Elijah.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming as well. Yeah, still unusual. And if you want to like scroll Instagram at the same time and fiddle around with these post-it notes that we've left everywhere, hey Tash, come. And this Rubik's Cube I'm going to kind of fiddle around with. It's going somewhere, don't worry. I asked if anyone could bring one, and my mum did, so I'm really happy. So thanks, Mum. And yeah, I'm going to go into some of the work that I've been sharing for the last couple months and kind of give a summary of where my head's at with this project. And then at the end, we'll do Q&A and a bit of talking time between all of us, and I'll shut off the cameras so we can do Q&A like just for the room. So it's not like broadcast to the world and just out there. I don't want to like expose anyone's questions, so just keep it in the room afterwards. And yeah, and we have BSL translation as well with us today. So I'm mad grateful and trying to make my work more accessible. Yeah, so let's get into it. Oh, so this infamous tweet now. What happened to Elijah and Skilliam? I bet Elijah is a professor at SOAS now. It was 3 years ago, which was a clear trolling me on Twitter, which was kind of awesome. Someone else kind of manifesting something I couldn't see for myself. I'm not a professor, obviously, but I don't know why they said that, but it's kind of a vibe. And this card with the DJ thing, it's just new, and it's something that I could have never planned for. But it also feels super weird, like this imposter syndrome. Why am I here? I couldn't have got into this university when I was at 18 or something like that. Everything feels like, yeah, just different. So I did this square the other day. Imposter syndrome is a feature, not a bug. And it's like kind of like computer terminology, bug, imposter. I don't know. I'm just in this weird place right now. So yeah, but this is the music game in a nutshell. Yeah. I don't want to hype myself up at all and just say, look, the best thing about going to something like this is each other, because every time I've gone to like a lecture like this, I'll just meet someone interesting, someone sharing something, like not saying more interesting, but as interesting as the person on stage. So introduce yourselves to each other, and afterwards, like hold a vibe. Like why not? Like we've been isolated for a couple of years for different reasons. So anytime you step out, like just make a new friend, take it out, take it Instagram, whatever it's going to be, because yeah, no one knows what's going to happen next. Oh, so yeah, I guess my day job is in artist management, and I've kind of done all this mad stuff over the last 10 years now in grime and electronic music, and like working with some of like the famous MCs off the TV. But my day job is actually on artist management, kind of consultancy. This word creator, like what is a creator? I don't know, maybe that was always creating and kind of writing, doing this project, and DJing. Like DJing has been a through line in my life for 18 years now, which sounds mad. I didn't even realize this until 2 or 3 weeks ago. I've been DJing properly since end of 2004, and it took probably 8 years for me to get going, and then another 10 of it happening in public. So yeah, this kind of journey of what everything's become, the Butters label, team, Skillium, Flavour, all the rest of them lot, is something that is just still feels like it didn't happen. It's such a bizarre thing. I look back at some of this stuff, I'm like, wow, was that really me? But I'm gonna get into something useful, but I'm setting you up. That's gonna happen a couple of times. So the yellow squares has kind of come about with me kind of sharing bits of information, advice not ideas, tests not process, observations not facts, possibilities, vibes, memes, art, something in between. I've tried to like not make it defined, like what is this yellow square thing? Like why are you doing it? I don't know, like just get going, get started. It seems to be catching fire, and every time I pull it in different directions, it feels like, oh, that's a new like area to unlock with this thing. But it's testing my creativity daily, and it's opening up all these kind of portals of opportunity that I could have never expected. So a lot of the way I'm thinking about creating work going forward is actually just not having a plan of what the other side is going to be. I'm just going to make it, see what happens, and then go from there. So I'm going to get into some of the recent squares, like this one. How much can you get done with the thought that you can't do it? And this is like the basis of all the imposter syndrome I've been feeling over the past couple of years in particular. I don't know that I'm going to be able to finish a lecture. I don't know that speaking in front of 200 people is a comfortable thing. I don't know, even performing, DJing in front of 1,000 people still feels like nerve-wracking to me. And over the last 6 months in particular, people think that I'm like a mad confident person. I'm like, no. Every time I'm just forcing myself and challenging myself to just do it. And that's got me a long way. And trying to not think about whether I can or can't has been like the barrier of getting a lot of things done that I just, if I thought about it too long, would have never happened. And I thought I needed to start sharing that because, yeah, I've projected as a confident person for a long time, and I don't want to just say that I don't have that battle with you too. So this is my kind of 2023 strategy in one square. What would you do differently if the metrics weren't public? So with this project, Instagram and social media, I don't care about the numbers. If it goes up to 20,000 followers, whatever it's going to be, that's not the point. The point is just challenging myself, doing something interesting and adding to the kind of creative layer. No one remembers how many friends they had on MySpace or how many likes they've got on Facebook. All that stuff is just temporary, and all of the stuff that really cut deeply doesn't have that high views or, you know, millions of plays. It all feels like, oh, okay, it's that connection that I'm building with someone rather than this number, because you're never really happy with it anyway. Even if something gets 1 million plays, you're like, oh, I should have got 2. Something got 1,000 likes, you're like, I hope it gets to 2,000. I'm completely disconnecting from all internet metrics going forward. And it's gonna make the projects a bit wild. Some things are gonna completely fail, but hopefully it'll be entertaining to follow. So yeah, this idea of continuing to fix or starting from square one is what I've been going through over the last 2 years. The impact of COVID on our business and our industry in general. I think if a lot of the problems I was trying to solve, if I just started from square one, we would have got to where we're at now, but just a lot quicker. Me, Will, the rest of the team, so many things we should have just been like, you know what, scrap it, start again. And we've done that with Butters, that we're like, all right, Butters, that's the end, done, complete. And in a way, it's like, oh my God, Butters is over now. But no, it's to open more opportunity, different ways of doing things and approaching things with a mind of 2023, not the things that happened before, not 2012, not 2007. I'm really trying to just break free of those constraints and work with the kind of structures or breaking the structures that are here today. So yeah, this is how I'm approaching everything. More time. You don't need more time. I did this square with the caption, "Time is the creative director," because I do this project like an hour a day. I try not to make it more than that, otherwise it would just consume my life. And if that's all you've got, if you've got like an hour or half an hour between your lunch break and this thing to put out your work or to create something, then just run with that, and that can be the force behind whatever your kind of creative drive is. I know like not everyone's going to have the opportunity to make, you know, a blockbuster album or blockbuster film, but we've got a phone, we've got production software. Ableton is now on the phone. All right, whatever you can make in the time that you have, just go with that and let the time lead. If you've only got an hour, 2 hours, just run with that. And if you can share, even better. But not just the making part is like the bit that's really, really, really key. I've been doing a lot of workshops with young people over the last 2 years, and a lot of questions I get asked are kind of, is this going to work? If I do this strategy, will it definitely work? If I post at this time, will it work? Give me how it's going to work straight away. And I'm trying to tell everyone, I guess, through all of this work that I'm putting out, is I don't think anything works, really. And these squares are like, has doing the thing you think is going to work ever worked for you? Probably not. Like the thing that someone just goes, oh yeah, just do it all like that. That never works. And what worked for me doesn't work for me anymore. The things that I used to do like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, of course it's not, because it's 10 years ago. And then this idea, like, yeah, nothing works until it works. Like you can't figure that out before. It's all tests, it's all like playing around with stuff until it does. And because it works for me, it doesn't mean it's going to work for someone else. So I get a lot of messages saying, oh, I want to do a daily thing as well. I'm like, yeah, go for it, sick. You'll probably do it better than me. Let's see what happens. And I'd like love to have a few people bouncing off me doing yellow squares themselves or different color squares or whatever it's going to be. It would just be fun just to bounce off other people that have only got an hour a day to play around with stuff like this. So yeah, experiments have kind of helped me more than any advice. I know it's like ironic me standing here. I'm trying to like not be in a position of saying anything that I'm saying is advice in itself. And you know, I used one square to talk about 15 years of history because I don't want to give anyone a history lesson anymore. I think that stuff has passed, and I do love that period of time, but we're about to approach 2023 after 3 prime ministers, a pandemic, war, all this mad stuff. So a lot of the way I'm thinking and the way I'm projecting is about what's next and what's the future and what's like gonna work today, present. Yeah, same kind of thing like when I work with young people. It's like we always use these examples of like Drake or Beyonce or this kind of big thing, but that's not in our reality. Like, you know, why use the same strategies as pop stars when we don't have the budget, the reach, or the team? I go through this with projects all the time. We're like sponsoring posts, we're doing like press and magazines and like shooting, and I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, are we pop stars? Like, we're not. We're just people making and sharing stuff. Like this, all this expense and expensive music videos, expensive this, expensive that. I'm like, is that what we really want to be spending our money on? Like, I don't think so. We want to just make and share. And I'm trying to like get away from these like standardized, this is how you promote an album, this is how you promote a single, this is how you promote an EP. I think that's all dead now. And yeah, trying to buy an audience will bankrupt you creatively and financially, because you're always just following what someone said was going to work. You know, oh, we did this for this person, so we'll just do it for you too. And it just, yeah, you can sense probably a bit of frustration because I've been through this a lot over the last 5 years. And as a fan, I've been kind of rethinking how I engage with artists myself. And it's like, if I enjoy someone's work, try not to project what I think they should be onto them, because an artist's dreams for themselves and the way they're thinking about their work it will be way beyond what someone like me or a fan will. They could be taking it to another direction, but as soon as they get the inkling that people want a certain thing, they pull that back and they start going, oh, I've made a big techno song, so now I need more techno. And it's just sad to see people reduce themselves to like what they don't even want to do in the first place if something works. And I see what it does to artists behind the scenes. Like they start becoming one-trick ponies and doing things that they don't want to do. And really, we want to create an environment that encourages people to push out. Like, yeah, do the thing that's not going to work. Do the thing that you're not sure about, and really create an environment where even if you don't like someone's work, or they make something that you're not feeling, go, yeah, go for it. Like that's good for you. It's a different time now, and seeing artists experiment and try stuff out is what we should be uplifting. You know, even if it doesn't bang or it doesn't work or it's not as good as their last thing, or to you it's not as good as their last thing. Like, let's encourage an environment of experimentation. Like sometimes I get this with, you know, people that know me from grime and DJing. Like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you writing for? Let's get back on rinse and mix and stuff. I'm like, no, we've got new things to do. I posted the square on the right, the open salary, on Instagram, and as soon as I posted it, this was like one of the fastest reactions I had. People texting me, calling me, like, what are you doing? Do not do this, this is crazy. Which is obviously why I'm gonna do it in 2023. So I'm gonna open my income. I'm gonna select kind of bits of work, because I work across so many different projects, and I want people to see not just what I earn, but why I earn this, and kind of just let it inform people about decisions they're making about their career, because it's difficult to pursue a career in the arts if no one tells you how they earn a living. Yeah, it's mad important, and like there's been this whole like conversation about cost of living crisis, and I'm like, hasn't it always been a cost of living crisis? Like, that's new, okay, cool. It's interesting when people are reflecting on times when they were good. I'm like, when was that? Like, when was it like, it wasn't 2009, I graduated then as credit crunch, and then there was this thing, and mortgage crisis, and this, I'm like, a pandemic. When was it good? I don't know, maybe there was, but I want to kind of open it up, and this is not something I think everyone should do. I'm just in a position where, because I work on so many different projects, and yeah, I don't want to sell dreams to anyone. I just want people to see the reality of what's happening behind the scenes, and like why I have to work so hard, why Skill works so hard, and the rest of the team, because it's difficult, and I don't want to again project a level of success that people are not like sure, like, oh, what's his deal here? So the more information I put out there, hopefully can inform some decisions. I've been working on this thread for a whole year. So this is the original tweet, was most of the DJing happens off the decks, the listening, the enjoying, the dancing, the discovering, the sharing. And I've then kind of followed it up a few times with different takes on this. And the core kind of belief is everyone that loves music should learn how to DJ. And I think like DJing is a beautiful thing. I don't mean everyone should be a career DJ. I don't mean everyone should try and be Carl Cox or something. I just mean sharing and mixing and playing around with music is a good thing. So there aren't enough DJs. Like if more people were DJs, then I think we'll have a closer connection with music as a society. And yeah, this idea, DJing has historically been this, but now the technology has changed and it's more accessible. The equipment's cheaper. You can do it on your computer. You can do it on your phone now. Like, it can be whatever. It can be a completely different thing to what it was before. And I've got like a lot of critiques about DJ culture, but the part about DJ culture that is the critique of it, I guess, is boring to people that are non-DJs. So I'm not going to go into them too much. I've started to edit some of my work as well now, because in different contexts, if you change a few words, it could just mean something different. Does something have to be great to make it worthwhile? No, not really. Just it being done is, and who's to say what is great anyway? So same idea, you can be a great DJ, or you can be a DJ with no radio show, you can be a producer with no EP, you can be a journalist with no articles, you can be a writer with no book, you can be anything with no result. You don't have to share it with no one. And I think so much of my work and the hold up of me developing as an artist has been thinking something has to be great for it to be done. And now I'm kind of throwing that out the window. You can see all of my bad work and, you know, sometimes punching through with some good ideas. So, yeah, I don't think, like, if I'm being brutally honest with myself, I'm not like great at any of these things, but the combinations of how things have layered up have created something fresh, at least. Maybe I'll be like great at one thing one day, but I'm not there yet. Yeah, just a reminder, commercial success in art is an anomaly. Most books that get released sell like 15 copies. Like most music doesn't get listened to. There's 100,000 things uploaded onto Spotify every day. Most songs don't get more than 1,000 plays. So don't beat yourself up about anything. Yeah, simple one. Yeah, kind of going back onto this thread of like connection and likes, like throwing this all out the window, like just not watching those numbers. It's because like the difference I feel between the engagement, the statistic versus the DMs and the conversations, bringing people together in real life is just worlds apart. And I did this square, leave a thoughtful comment and art that's moved you. And the interpretation people got was, they were like, oh, when I saw this person play at Brixton Academy, I'm like, no, I meant leave a thoughtful comment on the art that's moved you so people know that they're making something good. You know, when someone posts something sick, tell them it's sick because they don't know. And the other side of this is like, every day I go on Twitter and people are mad about something, but they don't post about what they love. Like, you really hate something, you quote tweet with a comment. You really like something, you say nothing and click like. How does that make any sense? We've got to uplift, use our space, use the stories, and just share things that you think are good. It sounds like really simple, but people don't do it. So do it. Yes. I just thought I'd say this here, just as we get into the end of the year. I think I've responded, I lost count at like 3,000 DMs, so it's had like a massive like toll on my brain. All kinds of different messages, and I've kind of got a read of the mental health of the nation, man. Like we've gone through it over the last couple of years, like artists and the world, UK, everything that's happening, and yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm ready to talk about this, but it's kind of scary to see like someone reaching out to me, of all people, with, you know, bigger problems, and I'm like, who are people's friends? Like, check in with people, man, because I've had to call ambulances and police and different situations from people I don't know from anywhere, because they felt comfortable reaching out about a problem in their life at that time. Maybe because I'm appearing on their feed every day and I'm sharing my work. I don't know what it is, but it's bizarre, and I don't know how much that is, you know, taking a toll on my brain and my body and my thinking and my ability to do my day job. But I thought I'd just say, because it might not be obvious to you, maybe some of you like DM me in isolation, but or send me voice notes. It's even crazy. I'll get like essays like that with voice notes. What do you think of this? I'm like, yo, it's Sunday. let me relax. So I just thought I'd put it out there. I don't have like a succinct way of saying it, but it's a lot. But I don't want that to stop me pulling back from doing the work. I want to continue doing it. But any help that you can do for your fellow friends, humans, people that you can see struggling, just, yeah, if you can, do it. Same thing here. I've seen a lot of people many times over the last 6 months now, and I get a lot of like love in real life, and I really appreciate it. The hugs, the kind of, you know, uplift that people have been giving me. It's been, like I say, a tough couple of years, and I don't take this lightly. So I'm gonna move on before I get emotional. Woo! All right, now some fun things of how I brought the kind of squares outside of this stupid app, Instagram, which I still got a love-hate relationship with, but I'll just show you how I've used it in some other places. Oh, so I did an event a couple months ago and brought out DWE, which is like kind of nuts that it still happened. And I'm like, wow, this actually happened. I did a lecture with DWE. First of all, I'm doing a lecture, and then there's DWE and this old tweet that I did while I was at Steam Down saying about certain times I'm at events, jazz, house, techno, whatever, and I think DWE will kill it. And I was at Steam Down, and then that weekend he played with Steam Down at We Out Here, which is just cool. It's just like the way the universe links up, and yeah, vibes. I've been kind of doing these lectures and talks and workshops, or whatever you want to call them, in different places. This was one at CSM the other day, so I've left these notes on the tables here as well. So if you want to like write a square and share it and stuff, just do it. It just makes it a bit fun. I kind of did a edit for Resident Advisor earlier on in this year, which already feels like a lifetime ago in the kind of architecture of this project. And all of the squares are available for free. So I put them just on Linktree. It's under archive, and people have been using them in their educational work too. So every now and then I'll get a tweet saying, oh, I've showed this to my like year 11 class or something like that. That's pretty cool. It's just, because obviously I can't be everywhere, and I don't think, I can't be everywhere, and I can't be everywhere going forward. So just letting it go and seeing what comes back, and everyone's kind of got different interpretations of these things. So feel free to take the thing, insert your idea. I don't feel any like kind of ownership over it in that way. It's just, it's just a post-it note, hello squares, vibes. Doesn't matter, it's fine. you can't IP vibes. And then I've been using it in the DJ sets with Skillium, which is kind of jokes, like using the same yellow square pen and just like writing different messages. And obviously I love Skillium in it, so I put the heart in there as well. Yeah, this is like Ministry of Sound. I let the lock screens out for the iPhone, the screensavers, and every time someone sees me in real life, they're like, ah! And that's been mad fun. Like every time, there's like my little cousin in the corner as well. But so yeah, if you actually have it on your thing, then seeing me in like on the tube or something, it always makes me laugh. So.
Oh my god, it's so like, don't freak out, act cool. Close it up, make the thing, man! Oh, man.
Getting memed is the one. It's like, thank you. That's Tasha LC, the DJ as well. And I get to put the meme in the lecture. It's mad. And then I made the poster as well, which I'll talk about in a bit. But someone asked for the poster of me in front of the poster. So I made that for them as well. And then, like, it's make the thing, whatever you want to say. It's kind of both. And I just thought, I'll make the poster for myself. So that's in my house, the Make the Ting one, the Jamaican one. Because obviously every opportunity I get to say I'm Jamaican, I'll say it, all right? Yeah, and then I had this square, like social media as a canvas. And then I've been trying to take it out of, is a canvas, like what is a canvas? Like just thinking about art in this way. And then I was like, oh, the ends is a canvas. Okay, I've been walking past this billboard my whole life, walking to Central Station. Like every time I see some nonsense advertised on there, I'm like, no man, put a positive message there, you get me? And it's been like kind of surreal to see it there over the last couple of weeks. Last night I was walking home, I was like, oh yeah, man. Because I made the things there. And then this headphone company, III, in Denmark, said they would want to use it on their flagship store as well this week, which was pretty cool. I just sent them the parts, like why not? And then, I was at a Late Night game a few weeks ago, and I thought, oh, that looks sick on the ticker thing. So, and here's the secret, yeah? If you want to get something done, just ask. I just asked, and they said, yeah, cool. No, it's gas though, isn't it? Like, come on. So that was on Saturday. I didn't tell anyone either, so I put it in my friend's WhatsApp group and just gassed them, and buying music is still the best way to support musicians. I chose every word carefully here. Not everyone can start a brand, not everyone can sell a t-shirt, not everyone can perform around the world, not everyone can get everywhere. So just know that if someone puts something out, it doesn't mean they have to put their whole life on the internet. They don't have to like show you their sandwiches or oh, do you put your sandwiches up?
No.
Oh, sorry. No, there's no diss to sandwiches, like, but yeah, some people I'm seeing too many sandwiches and not enough music. But anyway, yeah, I put out a song with Jams, who's a grime MC, and Play Vision, who made the beat, called Cami Rhythm, and just like reconnected with. I don't want to say grime roots. Grime is like not, it's like beyond roots. It's like just within me, innit? Like born in it, molded by it. Anyway, we did a song called Yellow Square, and I did the artwork, and it took me like 20 seconds because it's like Elijah, Jams, and then I drew the square around it, Yellow Square. Anyway, and then he's got a release out called Pink Lemonade, so I thought I'd just promote that. You get me? I got the man them, and then I thought about it. I was like, oh, I've got to like have a label. The label, make the thing. Why not? Just start something new. Be fun. Yeah, I've just been kind of like, everyone's been talking about diversity in music and DJing and all this kind of culture. I'm like, look man, there's people doing it, man. Platform them, like big them up. This is DJ Noria, follower, like promoting like Middle Eastern music, North African music. So just giving context to where like some of the samples have come from in history. So like Timbaland sampling a lot of Egyptian and Middle Eastern music. And I saw this video, I was like, oh, that's a sick way just to connect worlds, connect samples and hip hop and everything that we know. And then I saw that clip of her on Boiler Room from a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, I've never seen that image in DJing. You obviously always see these geeky guys in black t-shirts. Other geeky guys in black t-shirts. But you don't really see that, and like the more we can, more layers we can add into to DJ culture, to music culture, to electronic music, to history, like the better. And I just want to big her up. You don't know the back row G thing, you know? No, so this is Shabaka Hutchins, like a crazy jazz musician, part of Sons of Comet, Comet's Coming, and Shabaka and Ancestors. Just this visual of him on the treadmill, I just saw it and I nearly like fell out of my seat. I was like, I can't believe this. So basically he posts all the time, he's just practicing on the flute, and he is like social media as a canvas. It's not promoting anything, it's just him practicing and showing vibes and knowledge, and it's just new. And I just find it fascinating. I just grabbed a tweet of him saying, you know, I post flute practice videos on Insta since there's an evolving sub-narrative in my conscious decisions of what moments I see as representation worthy. I choose intuitively, so it's only with the benefit of hindsight that this narrative becomes apparent and orients my path forward. And yeah, he's a deep guy, man. I never met him or spoken to him or anything, but I just, I get gassed when I see these things, I can't lie. So this is an artist, Roni Mackenzie, and she's a photographer, gallerist. She's putting out films, doing a clothing line. Seems like a kind of creative beast, and she's got a gallery called Home, and it needs our help, and it's a space that she's been putting on other artists, and space and the access to space has been like an issue that I've gone through over the last 15 years in working in music, of course, from grime, Form 696, all that kind of stuff, and high rent, you know, trying to find places to do things is hard. So the people that have been able to open something up, got to find ways to keep them open. So if you haven't heard of her, check out her work, and I'm gonna sell some of the close that out, make the thing posters afterwards, and I'll just split the P's with her and just use that money to donate to her cause and keep the gallery open. Yeah, so these last few are kind of like for me, but I think some people obviously read them in their own voice. So if these are helpful to you too, then better. So an edit for myself as well. So sometimes I need to take the route where failure is likely, you know, try things out, like why don't I have a space? Because I thought it was impossible, but I think I can do it. I think I can get to a place where I can open up a venue. I just haven't really deeply tried, and that's something that I'm going to try. So anything that comes from these squares, I'm going to work towards putting it into space. It's a real thing, and this is why I'm going hard with this project in 2023, to make sure there are spaces for people to go. So maybe the yellow square ends up being a space. And I just want to say, sorry, the reason why I've got this Rubik's Cube is because a lot of the squares are right at different times, and I've been kind of realizing that I can kind of change contexts and meanings, and like the writing is modular. So I can pull something from July the 1st, September the 16th, and February the 5th, and then make context or make a different kind of phrase or make a different kind of point of view of my own work. And that's like, you can't really do that with notes or with Twitter or anything like that. I only realized that in the last couple of weeks, and it's kind of, yeah. It's kind of like this, yeah, it's kind of like the Rubik's Cube. I'm not going to do it, that's why I left it like this. But it's a different way of creating, and I just think, okay, if I'm able to do that in real life too, like the Rubik's Cube of ideas, of yellow squares, the space, the thing, the collaborations, we'll see what happens in real life. So yeah, I'm trying to break free of these kind of constraints that were put on before, some self-inflicted, some by industry, police, government, education, all of that good stuff. But I've got to use my own rules to success. Is it the medium, is it the creating? And clearly here's the creating. I don't give a shit about Instagram, sorry mom. It's about the creating. Are you waiting for someone to pay you to do what you enjoy? You might be waiting forever. Maybe all of these roles are converging. DJ, writer, manager, producer, MC, lecturer, whatever. Maybe they're one thing. If you only write when you get paid to, you aren't telling the truth. Yeah, no one's ever paid me to do something that, just do your thing. It's always for a reason. And the reasons that I do like some of these things are for things that no one could pay me to do. So I need to remind myself of that regularly. I'm overrating the risks and underrating the upside. So a lot of the time, the reasons probably why I didn't try and open up a space or didn't attack that in a way is because I thought I'd fail. But I might fail, and it's fine. But you understand that I'm gonna try, and that's probably like a better way to go. The more I talk about it, the less sense it makes. The more I do it, the more sense it makes. You've been listening to me for 40 minutes, so it's pretty clear. But hopefully, it all may make sense in the end. So yeah, thank you.